To the lighter side of RC After Dark, episode 55. It's probably backwards, so it looks like, what does a 5 look like backwards? An S?
Yeah. No.
Maybe an S. I don't know. Anyways, welcome to 55. We have probably the biggest update in the past 4 years. The only problem is all... There we go. I think that works.
Sure is a nice color.
There we go. All right, I'm going to flip you guys around, making sure everything's working. Let me know if everything's working, because we have that little Bakken. Oh, I can hear on Ward's phone. Everything is working. We have Starlink now, so I hope that this goes better.
Was that what that little white box is up there?
Yeah. 5x5, awesome, loud and clear, perfect.
Cool.
Fabulous. So we have Starlink now. So hopefully, I'm really curious to see if there's a difference in the quality. As far as the speeds go, it depends on the time of day, but we've got like 4 or 5 times faster internet than we had previously. So it's pretty awesome. So yeah, welcome to 55. Happy New Year, happy 2026. It was really nice today. We had some guys at our field flying today, which was crazy. There's snow on the ground, but they were flying, which was super cool. So that's awesome to see.
Did they put skis on them?
No, I don't think it went that well because there was snow drifts. So I think they took off okay, because you could kind of pick where you're taking off, and then I think the landing was not so good. So, but they were out flying, which is great. We were plus, I don't know, what was our temperature today? Like plus 10?
Plus 5, 8
Yeah.
today.
9 degrees on the truck on the way here.
Yeah. So like Chad said, 9 degrees Celsius on the way here. So that's like 50 Fahrenheit, 48 Fahrenheit, or something like that. So, yeah, it was a beautiful day. Our next week is actually looking really nice, and things are going well. So. Welcome to 2026. If you are not a member of the regular channel and you just saw the unboxing of the Beam, it's obviously sitting right there. The video on Wednesday was the Aries XL. That plane's done. There's 4 more videos to come. So the Aries XL is actually put away, ready for transport in storage. So it's not even in the shop anymore. So that's gone, so we can't really look at it, so you have to watch the videos. Cinder's back here doing something.
She's under.
Yeah, so we're way ahead on videos, which is great. We'll take a detailed look at the Beam. Many people are waiting for their Beam. We got ours early, or we got David's early. It's not mine, it's David's. We got David's Beam early, and that was because we got it air-shipped. So just for timing and everything, as soon as we're done the A10, which again, this is almost done. We started it last weekend. It'll be done tomorrow. Those videos haven't been uploaded yet, but we're starting the Beam as soon as we're done the A10 is the plan. So we're way ahead on projects, which is awesome. It feels very good. We did a little bit of rearranging here in the shop. We got the T33 up there. My Boomerang Atom 2.1 meter is gone for some additional repairs, and I think it's actually sold. I'm pretty sure it's 100% sold, which is awesome. What else? Oh, RC Aerolifter update. So if you have inquired with Harold or Ike about the Aerolifters, their first batch are sold. I think they had the gray one that I have here, I believe is going to somebody already, but I think they're 100% sold out. So if you buy one right now or pre-order one right now, I don't know what their deposit structure is or what it is, but if you order one now, they're going into production, and I think they'll be done in, like, don't quote me on this, maybe February, March, something like that. That's just a guess. So, but those have been going over very well. I know there's been lots of people that have inquired about these things all over the world. And I've gotten emails, forwarded them on to the guys that made this, Harold and Ike. And it's awesome. Been loving it. And it's been gathering some traction very quickly. So that's good. The only other update that I wrote down on the board that I could think of was the 2.8 Lancer. My 2.8 Lancer should be here very soon. I think it lands on the West Coast on January 16th or 18th. So it'll basically be this coming week that it lands, and then it'll take a little bit to get here. But so yeah, before the end of the month, we should be unboxing the Lancer 2.8, which is good. Excited for that. And that's basically the only update. We did have a question that came in over email this past week, so we'll cover that question as well too. It's a pretty in-depth question. So that's it. Welcome to 2026, and I can't think of anything else. You guys?
Yeah, Ryan said in regards to the field, it was 4 at our field.
Nice. Ryan, Don, Mike, and Mike, I think.
Yeah, I don't know what the wind chill will be like.
It was nice. It was gloomy is what Mike said, so it was kind of like cloudy and overcast, but I mean, to get out on January 10th isn't so bad, so even if there's a little bit of snow. Yeah, so we'll be here for about an hour with the live. If you guys have any questions, obviously ask away. We'll take a look at some of the updates and some of the other projects and stuff that we've got kind of queued up here. We'll take a detailed look at the beam. Obviously the unboxing video was today, and this is a pretty cool aircraft. If you've been in the jet world, as I said in the unboxing video today, if you've been in the jet world, this looks like an Ultra Flash, and it's very similar to an Ultra Flash. I don't know all the changes. Some of the changes will be invisible or unknown to me at this point, but I kind of expressed the obvious changes in the unboxing video today. But we'll take a look at the inside and a more detailed look at the beam. So that's it, guys. Welcome.
Yes, Love 7 says he doesn't hear any servo burning.
Nope. Now that we've been doing them all at once on the Jetty box, man, 30 minutes, we're done.
Victor Jet says he posted a beam landing video today.
Oh, cool. A beam? Who the heck has a beam? Oh, probably from the California jet event, I'm assuming.
What size of engine do they recommend for this one?
Well, it's
120 to 1.
I mean, essentially, it's an Ultra Flash, right? If you really think about it, if you want to talk about it that way. So you're basically looking at like a 120 to 140 would fly it very well. I think on the manual when I read it, or if you look on the website, it says like a 160 as well too, up to a 160.
The wings look super thick, like the core.
And you're putting a 195 in it?
No, we're putting a 160 in it. The thing that's different about the beam now versus the Ultra Flash, and I covered this, is the pipe is not crazy thick. So the old Ultra Flash pipe was like a stove pipe. And I mean, guys, we're putting a 210 in there. This one, I actually wouldn't feel comfortable putting a 195 in it. The pipe is thinner. So the pipe's thinner, but it's got that spiral wrap around it.
Yeah, structural.
Yeah, like the reinforcement stuff. So
You'd be worried about the heat getting
yeah,
damage.
I mean, it's a full bypass. So it's going back to the original Ultra Flash days, which is cool. Which is going to help with efficiency and speed and everything.
It's going to have its own sound.
Yeah. So the obvious things, guys, for the changes on this, the vertical stab or rudder is removable. The tail, to me, looked like it was more swept back. The Ultra Flash tail was a little bit more raked forward, and the Classic Flash was a very forward tail. So that's something that's different. I think, to me, the flaps look a little bit smaller in length, and the ailerons look a little bit longer and perhaps bigger, like a wider cord.
Ryan said it's a bolt fuselage with the Ultra Flash wings.
Yeah. Yeah, the wing is a one-piece wing, just like the Ultra Flash. The tail is a one-piece tail, just like the Ultra Flash. The intakes are a little bit different. It's kind of a neat, different design on the intake. So you have some different stuff going on there. Canopy is different as well too. So you got a bolt in the canopy Gone is the goofy glass or the clear canopy that you had to glue in. I think, again, don't quote me on this, I think there's an option, I believe I saw on the website when I was looking, to put a clear canopy on this as well too. So I believe I saw that option on the website. So overall, it's this color scheme is pretty cool. I don't think it's going to show up very well on camera, just like when we were doing the unboxing.
On your camera is showing really good.
Oh, is it?
My screen, I don't know about anybody else's screen.
Yeah, so like there's, I mean, the purple and the flake and everything is just crazy.
It's really nice color of purple too. Beautiful.
Slef7 said, John Russell's messing with the beam nose.
Yeah, I was. Does that
So-
come off?
Yeah, I'll show you in a second. So the purple is sparkle, metallic. The light and dark silver is metallic, which is super cool.
You can see a little bit of that
Chloe
in the
says
pictures.
hello and wants to know how the new cat is doing. Cinder is amazing.
The
If
queen.
if I go inside, she actually follows me, waits there at the door, and then I come back out and she comes back out. She's growing like a weed.
Oh yeah.
And she's doing awesome. She goes for her fixing appointment Friday. So she will be officially staying, as Ward said.
And she'll be meowing in a lower voice. Isn't that
So-
what happens to them?
Yeah, different structure. We'll take a look at the inside here in a second. But if you didn't watch the video, watch the video. The plane, I think the plane comes stock with fuel bags, at least ours did. And the fuel bags sit right back here. So they're actually conformal fuel bags, and they sit in between the intake, bypass, turbines right here, and the fuselage. So you actually put velvet in there, or fleece or whatever it's called. The kit comes with it, so it comes with some liner material that you put in there, and that's where the bag sits. So it's a really cool design. The nose, just keyholes.
Oh, sweet.
So that's it. Now, David, the owner, and I were talking today. I think David's here too, but we were talking about, like, you know, when you look through the manual is available online, so you can take a look at the manual. It comes with some structure that goes over top of the carbon tube. We were just talking about getting rid of the carbon tube and putting batteries right there. Like, I don't know. To me, this seems a little bit odd. Like, it's cool if you want to put the batteries in the nose. We're going to do one battery. Our one battery, I think, will fit right there. I haven't measured it. Then that carbon tube would be gone. Maybe you put a screw through the nose so the nose stays there because the canopy interlocks with the nose. So that's what we were thinking. I don't know. I don't think this would necessarily be structural. I mean, it's just a loose carbon tube in between two formers. So,
David
yeah,
said installing a pit top,
pitot tube.
Peter tube.
Yeah, it'd be much
Interesting.
easier if we left this on and put our battery right there. If anything, that would be the reason we would leave the nose attached. Still removable if needed, but leave it attached, is just to run our pitot tube and stuff in here, just to keep it simple, and then put our battery in there. So that's probably what we'll be doing. I was chatting with Salim from FCT today, Flight Composite Tech, about doing some custom fuel bags for us. We'll see. And yeah, so I'll show you guys the structure inside here. The plane, like I said, is very dark. So it's a little dark on the inside as well too. Mike, if you watch, thank you for the headlight. This is a gift from Mike the other day. So there we go. So yeah, you can see the structure difference in here. So you got a lot more structure over top of the nose. The gear mounts right down there, but that would be a great spot for equipment right in that area. And so that's good. Structure back here, it's a lot more wide open, of course, compared to an Ultra Flash because nothing goes there. The fuel bags would sit right on those sides, right there. And yeah, it's pretty wide open. And because there's fuel bags, obviously there's nothing really going in this area. So the installation is going to be nice and clean and pretty awesome. So that is the beam. Now I think if you've flown an Ultra Flash before, one of the things that I didn't like about my 6, 7, 8 Ultra Flashes that I've owned is I'm just going to make some stuff up here, but if your center of your axle is right here, your CG point is for neutral is like right there. So if you get the plane incredibly neutral or perfectly neutral, it's so light on the nose when you're landing that it can be a bit of a pain. So from what I've heard, the wheels or whatever, the axles or gear have been adjusted a little bit, so it's going to have a little bit more weight on the nose, I think. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. A lot of the stuff is very similar to an Ultra Flash when you see it in person. So
Somebody asked you putting some Sky Candy lights on, nav lights on?
no, it'll be kept simple, light, fast, and menacing. So.
Yeah, menacingly fast. Yeah.
So yeah, so that is the beam. Obviously, because the rudder comes off, you have better access to your servo. Previously, you had to install your Ultra Flash servo through the fuselage up here, which is a real pain in the butt. This, obviously, your rudder comes off and you can install it and you have to cut your horn and stuff.
Is that vertical there?
Yeah, you glue the tube in, and then there's a screw right there that screws into the
gotcha,
carbon
that's
tube.
where it is. I was looking at the front.
And I think the rudder is bigger as well too. When I look at this,
A little taller.
yeah, the rudder to me looks taller, quite a bit taller actually. Like the Ultra Flash had more of a swoopy, kind of shorter rudder.
Yeah.
So I think visually it looks taller, and it looks like it's a bigger surface. So yeah, so that is pretty much the beam, guys. If you have any questions about that, let me know. Jay said, I'm looking forward to receiving my transmitter, hopefully on Wednesday. After that, I could contact you when you are not too busy next week. I think you're talking to Mr. David.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're too busy.
Slough7, has Cinder taken over quality control from Nez? Depends. Sometimes Nez is in a bitchy mood, and she just hates everybody, so that's probably the best time for her to be on quality control, because she's really ornery. So A10, we started this last Saturday, so we started it a week ago. It was a busy week, but on Saturday we got the whole back end completed. So the turbines are in. Show you guys that stuff. So tail's done, rudder's done, everything to this point right here is complete. Turbines are in, Chikoi 160s, tiny little guys. We had to add a little extension on the rails. Like a Swewin 140 fits in there perfectly. The Chikoi, the bolts were kind of half hitting the rails, half going into nothing, or the screws. So we had to add little 3/8 inch extensions. The main startup or running tray is complete. So that's that there. So basically fuel port, you add fuel, it goes underneath, comes up through here, splits off so you can control fueling for each fuel system. So this is this tank, this is this tank. Air fill right there, even though we'll have an onboard compressor, you fill it at the beginning of the day. All of our Chikoi stuff for the turbines, GSU plugins are separate because getting them installed here underneath would be a bit of a pain. So we just added a little extension there. And that is that. So tanks are not installed yet permanently because we still have to run our stuff for our wings. So that comes out there and there. I'm just waiting for the wings to be completed for us to put that stuff in. But essentially all that back end is complete. This week it's been a busy week, but we've been working on the wings, so got a lot of the wings done today. The split aileron was completed this morning. Aileron horn is glued in, finished that. First flap is set up, and basically the wings, the lights installed in the end of the wings. So wings were done up to this point. Next thing is getting the gear installed and the next flap. The wings on the A10 is actually a big job. There's a lot going on this wing, and you have to glue a lot of stuff. With the Skymaster kits, the last few kits that we've gotten, they put structure in the wing right here, and you always have to put your control horn right there. So there's never any structure to go into. So what we have to do is always add structure in this area. So cut it open, add a big plywood block in there, and then our horn gets mounted into the big plywood block. So those horns are still movable. That's why we're being gentle with them. And yeah, that's basically it. Otherwise, everything else is the same with the wing. Everything's been pretty much universal with it. Nothing new or interesting. We are doing condensed video series for the A10. So video 1's actually done, already uploaded to the channel. Channel members have already been able to watch it. And I think we're going to wrap this up in 2 videos, just like the SU. First time I've seen the pylons, thank you. First time I've seen the pylons have decals on them. So it's been, that's kind of cool to see. I unwrapped those today to take a look at them and was quite surprised. So yeah, so that is the A10. Rest of the A10 stuff's all here. Once the wings are done, the rest of it's pretty straightforward. So it's going together very well. Very, very well. So that is all of the project updates. T33 is hanging out over there. We've got it back on its stand that Joe made. Perch. The wings are back there. Wing tip tanks are right there. I love looking at this thing. It actually wasn't until this past weekend that I put it up there. It's been sitting over there in the shop where the beam was since we got it around Christmas time, and I loved coming outside and looking at that thing. So
You're going to miss not having it winged up, and
yeah, I already do actually. I have to look over there to see it.
all you have to do is move it and post it on top of the door there for that you can.
But it's a pretty nice shot right there, I must say. F4, T33, P47. That's a good shot. A lot of beautiful right there. A lot of beautiful. All right, so that is the updates.
That's it.
I think that's it.
Okay, bye everybody.
So now everybody's gonna leave. Yeah, so if you guys have questions, now is the time to ask.
Yeah.
Now is the question period time. There we go. Oh yeah, we got our question from email to ask.
Yeah.
So Dean said, have you ever set up a Diablo that or an Aries L? Will be my next jet. I appreciate being able to see your installations first. I haven't done a Diablo, Dean. I have done obviously the Aries L. So
David says once you have the F4 out of the way, you have more room.
yeah, once the F4's gone, it'll feel very empty in here. Well, except there's a lot of projects coming from Chris, so I don't even know if we can fit those in the shop. Oh,
Is it on its way?
it's on its way. I have pictures for you. Yeah, it's beautiful. Chad knows what I'm talking about.
David Freeman says, forgive me if this has been addressed, but who plays the guitar? And will you play us a song?
I play guitar.
He's blushing.
Honestly, I really don't want to play a song, but no, I do play guitar. When my oldest daughter was a few years old, I think when she was born, so maybe 22 years ago, I started playing guitar. I met a guy at my work, and he's like, have you ever wanted to play an instrument? And I said, well, I really want to play the guitar. And he said, well, why don't you? And I said, well, obviously, I can't. And he said, sure you can. So he got me a left-handed guitar, and taught me how to play guitar. His name's Jeremy. He's actually a luthier, which is, if you don't know what that is, he makes guitars. And he went to school to be a luthier and taught with some guy in Eastern Canada. I can't remember his name, Serge or something like that. And that's what Jeremy still does to this day. He builds guitars. So that guitar in that case was actually the second guitar that Jeremy ever produced from his facility in Eastern Canada. It's called 52 Instruments is his company. So little plug for you, Jeremy, even though you don't watch my stuff. Let's see here. T33 scheme is going to be great for visibility in the air. Yes. And yeah, one does forget how ginormous that F4 really is.
Oh yeah, when you put it like
I mean, I don't know, like
15 feet.
6.
here,
Well,
now I'm
your
touching
span is
now I'm
6 feet.
touching the table and I'm a 6-foot wingspan.
Yeah, that's right there. It's 14 feet.
Still can't touch the tip. So yeah, it's a monster. Absolutely. It's a big plane.
She'll fly.
And then the little T33 in the background looks even smaller because it's way back there.
It does.
Looks like a little foamy.
Okay, David asks, what events are you going to in the U.S. in 2026?
Perfect. Good question, David. Thank you. So I'm going to be going to Tucson Jets at the end of March. So we'll be down there. The event is right at the end of March, but we'll be down there. Probably show up the Sunday before. So we'll be there for Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, leave Sunday. So we'll be there for 7 days. So that's number one for US. Then we may go down to Billings this year. The reason for that is, so Glacier RC Club in Montana. Let's talk about that for a second.
Okay, the door's open.
Yeah. Robbie, I really wish you would watch this. I really do. If anybody knows Robbie at the Glacier Club, send him this live. So when I first met my late friend Kelly, who that's where that plane came from. That's where the Corsair came from behind me as well. Kelly passed away roughly a year ago. And Kelly and I met. He introduced me to David Jetguy, who's on here. And that kind of started the whole relationship and everything. We ended up going down to Montana for I think the first year was, we had an official jet event. Second year, we had an official jet event. Third year, we had an official jet event. Kelly passed away. Last year, the club president, Robbie, was trying to ban turbines that were over like 30 pounds, 35 pounds, something like that, and anything that flew over 140 miles an hour. So the entire club voted, and it was a 50-50 split is what we got told. So we went down there in June to fly. We joined the club to become members. Went there once, obviously. Went down there, flew some turbines and stuff. Had a great couple days down there. And this past week on Monday, I think it was this past week on Monday, the entire membership got an email from the club president saying that he is putting a vote forward to ban turbines 100%. So all turbine aircraft banned. They've got a beautiful field. If you guys have watched the videos, you've seen the picturesque background. I think on Facebook, the event I posted today with a few of us standing there and planes in front, that background is the Glacier Club in Montana.
It is beautiful.
800-foot paved runway, and now he wants to make it a foamy club, which is terrible. So it's going to a vote again. It's super frustrating. It's a little less frustrating this year, I think, for me, because we've been through this before, but he wrote a really nasty email, and the reason I say it's nasty is because it was fear-mongering. And Robbie, if you do watch this, your email was terrible. It was all fear mongering, and you're trying to put fear into all the members of the club, which is not acceptable. He put out there that the Billings Club had banned turbines. They had an event in 2023 and they banned turbines. So I reached out to the Billings Club to confirm, and they said, no, we did not ban turbines. It actually is a great thing every year. They have an event every year. It brings in a ton of money for the club. And the reason Robbie said they banned turbines was because without doing any digging, he wanted to add to his fear mongering. So he went on the AMA website, and on the Billings Club, it says turbines are banned. Well, if you do a little bit of digging, they have their primary site, which is an indoor flying site for winter, is listed as their primary flying site, which obviously you're not flying turbines indoors, so turbines are not allowed. Well, their regular club, turbines are allowed. So anyways, we may be going to Billings. I think their event is in May. I think it'd be fun to go down there, because if we don't go to Montana in June, if we're all banned from flying in Montana, their club levels are going to go down a little bit. All their foamy guys can still fly foamies and have fun there, which is very frustrating. So anyways, long answer to that question. So May, June, somewhere in Montana. Other U.S. events that I know for sure will be Texas, Turbines and Tumbleweeds in September. And I forget the exact dates, but you could look it up, Turbines and Tumbleweeds. And you can also look on RC Event Hub, which is the organizer Ivan's website or app as well too. So that's an option as well. So I think that's the dates for sure that I know I'm going to and driving to and bringing planes to. So that's the plan. And then a lot of events in Canada as well too. So that's the long answer to your short question.
Thanks for clearing that air.
Oh, there's a lot of comments in there about him.
I bet. All right, so we got some more questions here. Joe said, I wish I would have got that light to you for tonight. I wish so too, Joe. Will the mini Aries start after the F4? The mini Aries, so the plan for projects, thank you, Carl, for that. The plan for projects, just because of deliveries and timing and everything, so we're finishing the A10. It'll be pretty much wrapped up tomorrow. I'm still waiting on the pilot from Warbird Pilots, but we'll be complete tomorrow, is the goal. Goals are meant to be reached and broken. So the A10 is going to finish, then we're going to get the beam completed, then the F4 Phantom is going to be started. And the reason I say started is because ultimately we need to pull all the servos out of this plane. Yes, we're still pulling all of the servos out of this plane. We need to look at that servo list because there's so many servos in there. We need to order new servos for it because I don't know if I've got them all in stock. I probably don't. So while that's kind of happening, we will work on the Aries Mini. Once the Aries Mini's done, the P47 will be underway. And then we're making some good headway though, I tell you what. So for the end of March, Falcon 2.4, that should be shipped out mid-January, mid-month. Aries Mini's right there. The beam is here, F4XXL. My FTL Lancer, Roban Super Cobra Heli, Carf P4, P47. So the red ones are the ones I really want to have done for March. It'd be really cool to have the T33 on there as well too. So that is the stuff. And I totally keep forgetting about this question. So let's talk about the question. We'll get back to the questions you guys have in the comments here. And maybe this is a good way to do it. So we got the thing in the background. Cinder, buddy. All right. So the question comes from Sorry, you guys are backwards.
You want me to flip it around?
No, it's fine.
I can.
It's
keep
only
you
that.
afraid.
Who cares? It's the logo that's backwards. Big deal.
But you have to say it backwards.
Okay, this came from Mario, who I printed this really small. Mario, who is PF-RC Plane on YouTube. So maybe you're here, Mario. I'm assuming you're here because you sent me this for the live. He said, just received my Jetty DS16 G2 radio, converting from Futaba. He said he's been thinking about this for a few years. Good choice, very good choice. Welcome to 2001. No, I'm just kidding. Good, honestly though, good choice. We've had, I'm not going to say any names, but there's been a lot of people, and when I say a lot, it's some pretty substantial people that I know have been using a different radio system or systems for a long time. Like in the past couple weeks, there's been lots of guys that have been getting their new Jetty, so it's been really cool.
It's all from that one video, right?
Okay, so from your regular channel, we see maidens where Coco and David trim jets 1 click, 2 clicks. They seem to be trimming their surfaces against different flight modes such as normal, flying, takeoff, etc., landing flaps. So does Jetty by default recognize a 3-position switch as flight modes, therefore memorizing the surface trims settings per normal flight, flying, takeoff, landing, etc.? Or is that something you went from global settings to separate settings in the transmitter? So good question, Mario. And then you have another question about binding, so we'll talk about that afterwards. But I'll show you guys in a radio, or I'll show you, Mario, in a radio. That's a great question. So I'll just get the setup here. And this, we want to flip it around so it's not backwards. Okay, I don't think there's any glare there. Okay, so we'll go to the Aries just because
Hello, Magic. Happy flying.
we've got, that one's done.
Flaps and crow.
Actually, let's go to that one.
Full flaps.
Okay, so,
Hover, Adam, hover.
okay, so your question about flight mode. So basically, one of the things I guess to talk about first is once you get a model set up, set yourself up a default model or a blank model. So once you have a model that kind of has a bunch of the things done, duplicate it and label it as blank. So now when I set up a brand new model, I just copy this one, or because this is our shop radio, I will just go to, like, for example, the Aries XL. So if we set up another vectored thrust plane, we can use the Aries XL or the Falcon, and that has all the vectored thrust and everything already in there. So, but we'll go to the Falcon 2.1. So that's a good thing to do. Now, when you set up a brand new model, you won't have flight modes by default. The other thing I think on your question that I saw at the end there was channel layout. So to show you, your plane is not going to have a limited number of channels. Now we call them functions in Jetty. So the DS24, I think the 16 is the same, but the DS24 can have 24 functions. So here's all of our functions in the radio. So we've got ailerons, right? So you've created an aileron function, elevator function, all these different functions you can see here. And then you go to servo assignment, and you're assigning your functions to each servo port, or function assignment, I guess. So we've got 24 assignments we can do here. Now the key thing is the number of channels is not, I'll say channels because that's what people know, but the number of channels is not determined by your equipment. So in this case, we've got, so this is for the A10. So the A10 actually needs about 21 functions, and this is our Central Box 310, which has 18 ports on it. So when we go into our A10 model, we've got a layout of, I think, 21 different things to do on the radio. These are all assignable. Now they'll default to their assigned things. So as an example, aileron 1 will go to port number 1. If you bind a Rec 7 receiver, port number 1 will default to the first thing that's assigned in your radio. But you can go in here and you can lay this stuff out however you want. So if you're using a Central Box 210, you could have 2 Central Box 210s and you could have a plethora of different functions. You could run 10 of these Central Box 310s and have multiple functions for each port. So like you could take this aileron 1, you could assign it to 1 through 9, and they could all do the same thing. So anyways, that's kind of how that kind of answers the second part of your question. Now when you go into the model, you go into, I'll slow down here a little bit, you go into fine tuning, you go into flight modes. So here with our Falcon is all the different flight modes. So this is how I have mine set up.
Adam hover.
So
Mode 1.
that's flight mode 1, which is regular flying mode.
Take off mode half flaps.
Takeoff mode, half flaps,
Full flaps.
full flaps,
Flight mode 1. Vector on.
vectors on,
Hover Adam hover.
hover.
Vector flight mode 1.
So when you set up these flight modes, that gives you the opportunity, like you said, to use global or separate on the other functions. So when you go into, I guess, flight mode trim as an example, you'll see that ailerons, elevator, rudder is all separate. So if you go to our main screen, you'll see here,
Full flapped. Flight mode hover.
those are all
Flight
zeroed
mode
because
1.
we were copied it. But if we are in regular flying mode and we add 12 points of forward elevator,
Take off mode half
that's
flaps.
going to be different in takeoff flaps.
Flight mode 1.
So yes. So it gives you the opportunity to do all that stuff, but you do have to actually go in and set it up. So that's why having a default model like that is good, because if you start from the basics or start from a blank slate, it might take you, I don't know, 30 minutes to get through all the basics, when all you have to do is copy that default model, and then most of your basics are already set up for you. So I think that was all the stuff in the questions.
Oh, talking about putting 2.
There's very little referencing binding dual Rex receivers. Yeah, so as far as receivers go, if you are using default, so most of our stuff is done in default. So with default, you can have one receiver, one primary receiver, and a 900. You can have a primary receiver, as many clones as you want, and a 900. If you use dual path, you're going to have primary receiver, secondary receiver, and then 900 if you're going to run a 900. So that's how you do it. Now, if you're in dual path and you bind a Rec 7, you're going to have access to 7 ports. Okay? Those ports can be assigned whatever you want them to be. If you add another Rec 7, you have access to another 7 ports. If you take that Rec 7 and you plug it into a central box, now you have access to 15-ish ports. So that's the beauty of Jetty, is nothing's fixed. So back in the day when we had Spectrum, when we had JR, your channel 1 was channel 1, right? So it was a lot of fixed stuff. Whew!
That was a lot.
It was a lot. All right, Ward, you're on questions.
Well, I'm trying to go back to where they had a whole pile pouring in here.
Let's see here.
What, have you been snoozing at the wheel?
Yeah, Ward.
One is, what are the screws you like using to mount servos without the grommets and bushings?
Something with like a washer head on there.
All right, I'm going back here a little bit.
Yeah, that's by Meticulous. Yes, that.
Okay, so
It's quite a ways back.
Carl, we can pay you to stop singing. Nice. I actually used to be in a band, just so you guys are aware. When I started playing guitar, me and a few guys started a band. We would play at church things, work events and stuff like that. I was the lead singer, played rhythm guitar. So
No way,
yeah.
you were lead singer?
yeah.
Whoa!
So anyways, that's some of the history.
I would have loved.
John, before World of RC, what was your main hobby? Ooh, good question. So when I was 15 to 25 years old, I worked at a bike store, like pedal bike store. And I raced mountain bikes, raced on-road bikes, like road bikes, Tour de France type stuff. Not in the Tour de France, but that's the style of bike. The number one rider in Canada can't compete with any of those guys, just so you're aware of that. So I was heavy into cycling. I used to be a saltwater aquarium guy. So I used to, in one of I think it was our first house that we had, I had a huge in-wall aquarium, like it was 260 gallons. So it was, I think, 6 or 8 feet long, 3 feet wide, 3 feet tall. It was full of corals and saltwater fish, and I had a whole room dedicated behind it. I used to build things for different people, build calcium reactors and skimmers and all that. That's how I would fund my hobby. Seems pretty common for me, right? So that's what I used to do, and I just all self-taught stuff as well too. It was super cool. So, and then one day I just decided to sell it all and get out of it. Let's see. Yes, David, I opened up a little bit of a can of worms. Ryan, I'm not coming to MAD this year. The Hangar Dubai guys were really trying, but yeah, I can't make it work because number one, we're going to the US for an exchange, and the list of projects is just way too big. It's valuable time, so.
Mentioned weather in Tucson. Had a wet and windy, cold winter.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see here.
LA Jets events was hot.
There you go. Sorry guys, I'm just scrolling through the comments here. Oh, I went way too far. That's smoke on the water. That's an easy one. Bah, bah, bah. Bar chords, man. Simple. Put some wings on the old guitar and... Okay, so I'm not coming to MAD. Yes, David, I opened up a can of worms a little bit. Somebody share it with Robbie. That'd be great for him to see it. Hopefully good weather for Tucson. We've had a lot of wet and rainy, cold weather. Yeah, I mean, we're a few months away from that, right? So. The RC community is already under enough negativity. Banning certain parts of the hobby is only going to continue hurting more. Absolutely, I agree with that 100%. So Meticulous Al, what are the screws you like using to mount servos without the grommets and bushings? Good question. Slough, don't forget to burn in the servos now for the F4. Oh, don't you worry. The F4 is already going to be enough of a drama creator because we're taking all the servos out. So I'm not looking forward to that. But hey, you know, whatever. So servo screws, that's them. What do I like using? I like using whatever works. So we've got a few different options. We've got these guys, which I will commonly use, big pan head guys, depending on the servo and setup. These guys are some old JR ones. I don't really use those anymore because we can't get them. This is all the RTL fastener varieties. These are the thicker ones, the number 3s. These are the number 2s, different lengths. So I'll use kind of whatever works. The Aries builds, for example, I was using these thicker RTL ones because they fit in the 5010s really well. So yeah, so that's what I've been using. The RTL ones are nice, and the reason they're nice is because I can buy them in 1,000 bags. So I just buy 1,000 at a time, and then we've got lots all the time. That's why they're nice.
What's your thoughts for flying turbine jets with Spectrum
Oh, Chad, you're in the picture.
versus a tandem
Better
transmitter?
move. Better move. All right, so I'm getting there. Carl, thanks for the update. Futaba, ugh. What are your thoughts on flying turbine jets with Spectrum versus tandem transmitter like FR Sky?
I never had an issue. I flew it for many years.
So back before I got into JR and Jetty, I flew Spectrum, maybe it was a DX18QQ, the Spectrum 18QQ radio. Great radio, awesome radio. But that was before it went to, hey Patrick. That was before it went to please crash me mode, which is like, what do they use? Like Android stuff, right?
That 16-channel receiver that went on you.
Yeah. So,
That hub, yeah.
I mean, it's kind of a slippery slope to get into, and I don't really want to get into it. If you want to fly a plane with Spectrum, have at her. I've got I don't even know what it's called. What do I have over here? I'll pull it out and show you.
Hey, you never did get that Radiocraft radio, huh?
Yeah, the IX-20.
So I have this thing. The IX-20. The reason I own this is because I had a client that used Spectrum, so I bought this to set up his planes. The only plane in my shop that works on that radio right now, this is a good one. The only plane in my shop that works on that radio right now is this bad boy right here. Bad Mamma Jamma. The Radian UMX glider. I think
Goes 100 feet.
Katie's, what's that, a Carbon Cub up there?
Yeah.
So I think her Carbon Cub works on that too. We don't really fly it, but yeah. So that's the only thing I trust with that radio. If you wanna trust your turbine planes with this radio and you have good success, I'm happy for you. So my choice though is I won't fly anything big on that radio. We did lose the MiG with that radio. No, the Diamond was on JR because the box issue. I think the MiG was the only one, the little MiG.
He test flew it out at Red Deer, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, it
yeah.
went on the other side of the trees.
It was a ways.
So yeah, the little silver Hobby King MiG that we did with the turbine, or no, it was EDF. It was a really nice EDF setup with the Schubler EDF. Took it off, banked it. Was in my first turn. There's a video of it,
Yeah, it is.
and it just lost signal. So yeah, so that's my answer for Spectrum.
Yeah. Wesley Glover says the best fly club in the area for jets had several instances with radio signal issues on jets guided by Spectrum.
Yeah.
Well, put it this way, like those radios like Spectrum and JR in hotly contested areas like where Dave flies at
Yeah.
Apollo Field, they get bombarded by interference.
Yeah.
I mean, they have a real hard time, really hard time.
I think
Yeah, I mean, the best thing you can do is give yourself as many chances as possible, right? So, you know, when we set up a normal plane, like all of my planes, they're set up with Jetty, and they're set up in the default mode. So there's a primary receiver. Yes, we have a clone, but it's just basically a primary receiver, and we've started putting a 900 in there. We're pretty good here without the 900s, but why not just put it in there? It's cheap insurance. So then you have two different signal paths that your plane can work on, right? So it just makes the most sense if you have access to it. Why not use it? So Dean said the Arizona Jet Rally is a harsh RF environment. My Bolt has a lot of carbon, so it's tricky to install for reception. My Spectrum had only one frame loss and no holds in 3 days of flying. That's good. Pretty much like when you set up a flap to elevator mix. Fred Weaver, you finally made it. Oh yeah, David. So DS16 has 16 functions and the DS24 has 24 functions, but both transmitters can have 24 servo outputs. That's the answer, yes. So you couldn't fly, well, you couldn't fly fully the Skymaster F14 as an example, because you need 24 functions for that thing to operate properly. But you have 24 servo outputs. Let's see. Are pulse lipo batteries worth the money? I'm asking because AeroPanda has them and Walmart sells them as well, which I'm surprised. Pulse ones are good. I really haven't had any issues with them. But we don't. I don't use them. We basically use the Gens Ace ones. But find a battery you're comfortable with, and you can, you can you can burn in your batteries. You can pre-cycle your batteries. So when we get a new battery, it goes on the charger. It gets charged and discharged. I usually do it 3 to 5 times, and then I'll check the resistance on the battery. So, yeah, exactly. So when you get a brand new battery, it should be pretty low resistance. So,
And somebody wants to know if you're getting rid of the servos from the F4. He wants to know if he can get them.
I think somebody already has them spoken for, but feel free to shoot me an email. So. Thanks, Ryan. Let's see here. Are you getting rid of
The battery he's talking about is 7.4 volt, 500 milliamp.
5,000.
5,000, yeah.
Alan G, considering the Skymaster F14 1/7, how are the flight characteristics on that size of airframe? It's a good plane. It's a little difficult because you have to pack a lot of stuff in that little tiny area. So I mean, I've done enough videos on it that you can see it, but it's a little tough to pack everything in there. But as far as flying characteristics go, I think it's awesome. Andreas, thank you for joining from Jetty Model USA. Victor, I know, Victor, we've been trying for so long to get you off that Spectrum stuff, but you just won't give it up.
We'll convert you, hallelujah, convert.
We'll have to get some static chargers on this.
Awesome.
Give them jolts like that.
Plus the RTLs aren't that expensive. Yes, exactly. I don't know what those big bags sell for, but they're not really that much. So awesome. Oh my gosh. Caught up. So Kenneth, yes, I burn in my batteries also. It's a thing.
We're gonna start a new thing now.
Maybe we should do a video on that. Oh, I'm totally got to do a video on that too. That's actually more fun because I have some old batteries we can do a really good burn-in process with.
See, she's a smoker.
Yeah. Let's pound a nail through it and see how it handles the burn-in process.
That's a new way of holding it into plane.
Somebody actually commented, I can't remember who it was on the video, but they're like, you should do a servo burn-in video. So like have my Jetty box, and I'm totally gonna do this on the next project on the beam. So I'm gonna have the Jetty box there or a receiver or whatever, all the servos plugged in, and it's just gonna be a video of that. That's it, the whole thing. So it's gonna be 30 minutes long of the servos going, wait.
Yeah, put arms on them so that everybody can see it.
Exactly. I think that's a great idea.
I think a battery thing, that would be.
And then I'll post it to Facebook and it'll be really funny. I'll be open with you guys. So we went to a movie last night. This is the joy of After Dark, is we can talk about stuff like this. So me and my wife, Katie, we went for date night last night. So we went to sushi, which was awesome. Went to see Avatar. And while we were sitting in the cinema, while we were sitting in the theater waiting for the movie to start, I was scrolling through my phone and I opened up my email. And every month I get they call it an invoice, but it's an invoice on their end of money they send to me from Meta, which is Facebook and Instagram. And last month, with all the drama, Meta sent me $560 US
Wow.
from all the Facebook drama. So thank you, haters, for doing what you do, because
You paid for the date.
it was awesome. It was a great date night on each and every one of you. So, so awesome. So cheers.
I think about it. It would be a bad idea.
That would be good. We should probably do it with some generic ones, though. Not even, maybe just make it more of a humor one than,
Just pull off the labeling.
ooh, good one.
Yeah.
All cells look alike.
Yeah. And I'll just burn the crap out of my old ones, so they'll be, we'll just do that as well, too, and see what kind of havoc we can start. Oh, man. Yeah, do the burn-in process outside the shop. Yes, exactly.
I want a turbine burning.
Haters are going to hate.
Yeah, Victor, we've been trying, my friend, to get you off that whole Spectrum stuff. I know a guy that flies at your field, and he's my Yoda, so he may be there to help you as well, too.
Yes, exactly.
Awesome. Well, that's 8 o'clock, guys. That's awesome.
Got a last one here.
Fly quick.
Haters gonna hate. Yeah,
Wesley
exactly.
Glover switching to a FR Sky. No, these.
Oh, that's Wesley. I'm switching to FR Sky now and leaving Spectrum. So far, I'm impressed with FR Sky, but thanks for answering the question honestly. I can easily read between the lines. Good. I'm glad. Joe said, I have to make you some fingers to go on the servo arms when doing the burn-in.
That'd be awesome.
The middle fingers. That would be really funny. Just little hands.
But you have to be careful. Don't make them little fingers because you might get banned for.
Yeah, Facebook might not like that though.
Yeah, that's true. Dave Zotman, friends don't let friends fly Spectrum. Don't kid, David. That's 100% true.
That's exactly it.
Awesome, guys. Perfect. Well, that is perfect. Thanks, guys, so much for joining the live first of 2026. Thank you, Russell, for coming. Chadwick, who's here, just the hand. Ward, who's right there. Appreciate you guys. It's going to be a fun 2026. Maybe a little less fun if turbines get banned by Robbie, the all-powerful leader at Glacier RC Club. All hail Robbie. But maybe if Robbie's feeling up to it, he will let us fly there. Maybe we have to kiss his feet or kiss his ring on his hand or something like that.
It's more of a liberal.
Is that a little too far?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, that's,
That's what this channel's for, man. That's really what it is. So,
I think it's preventing, yeah.
yeah.
If a heart attack would hit him, that'd be great.
No.
Sorry, fellas.
Hey, you heard it here first, not by me, but by this guy. Thanks, guys, so much for watching. We'll see you in 2 weeks. I think 2 weeks at the next live. Yeah, I'll be here for the next live. So,
We're getting into everything here.
It's a great field.
yeah,
Yeah.
it is. Thanks, guys. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Enjoy the content coming up on the channel. It's all Aries XL stuff with a little bit of A10 and then a little bit of Carf Beam thrown in there as well, too. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.